Good evening and welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show that separates fact from fiction. On David Mitchell's team tonight, he's the self-appointed German comedy ambassador. It's Henning Wehn. And she's a DJ, singer and a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. It's Visage. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, it's Corrie legend and I'm a Celebrity star, Simon Gregson. And she left Holby City to go on the run in Celebrity Hunted. It's Chizzy Akudolu. We begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They have no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Chizzy is first tonight.
After seeing a regression therapist, I genuinely believe that in a past life, I used to be a medieval Frenchman.
David's team.
A regression therapist?
Yes.
So what's a regression therapist?
So it's a therapist who gives you regression.
I mean, thank you for putting those words in a different order.
More than welcome.
So why is it therapeutic to be told you were someone in the past?
Well, they don't tell you who you are. They get you to a place where you remember who you are.
Past life regression takes a while to get to. So how many...
Have you done it?
I have started to talk to my therapist about it, but it's not an easy journey. It's a very bumpy ride to get to where you're going. So how long did it...
That may just be your therapist saying, Michelle, this is going to take quite a few sessions. At $350 a time.
You ought to know.
On the NHS, one session. Pull yourself together, thank you.
So go on then, Chizzy. What do they do?
You lie on the sofa, and it's kind of like being hypnotised, where you get to a certain state and they start asking you questions of what you can see.
And what could you see?
So the first thing I saw was I landed in this field and they said, what's on your feet? And I said they were like these metal shoes and they sort of pointed.
So armour?
Yes.
Essentially the booty bit of armour?
Yes.
I've never heard you sound so butch in my life.
So I realised I was in armour because of the way I was walking, and then I walked towards this big castle. It was it was ruined. The castle was ruined completely.
So you're walking forward, clank, clank, clank. You go in the castle.
More likely to be clank, clank, clank once you get to the castle, which would probably have had some sort of floor, whereas the field was more...
Yes.
You walk to the castle, clank, 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 clank. And then there's like the drawbridge, a more resonant...
Clogum, clogum, clogum.
Yeah.
And so you get there, and why is the castle ruined?
There's been a war.
Nothing to do with us. Preempting what would be said next, so...
No, there's been a war, and there's also bears.
What?
There's bears.
From the Happy Mondays?
No, bears.
Bez from the Happy Mondays.
Oh, bears. No,
She said there was also Bez.
Say it again, Rob.
I said from the Happy Mondays. Thank you.
So you're in a castle.
Yes.
The castle's in ruins.
Yes.
And there's bears.
What,
Yes.
from the Happy Mondays?
And is the idea behind this that we were all one person before, or we've been lots of people?
We've been lots of people before.
So if you go for the next session, you might get one of the other people.
Absolutely
You might not, and then you sort of go, I want to find out what happened to the medieval Frenchman. No, you can't do that. You're the Greek soothsayer today.
Some parts, I think, of the Buddhist faith believe that you carry on until you've lived every life.
That's it.
Wow.
So
Every life. At some point, David, I'm going to be you. And I'm going to do it differently.
But can you do it differently? In this system where we all get a go being everyone, doesn't it all just, the ride goes the same, whatever? You sort of think, actually, no, I'm actually Lee Mack being David Mitchell, so I'm going to do it more northern. But it's too late. No, we've got to do David Mitchell. You can't. That could be happening now. You could be doing me, I could be doing you.
I'm not doing you now, David.
I think if you were doing yourself, you'd be being funnier than you are now with me doing it.
If I was doing myself now, I would be thrown off the show again.
What about you, David? Do you think you've lived other lives, David?
No, I don't think.
Do you have any time for this poppycock?
My
Is that your nickname for him? Get a room, you two!
Michelle, I think you're going true.
100%.
Right.
I mean, Michelle is so convinced that it's true
Yeah.
that I would then go with Michelle.
It's not hard to believe you went to a therapist and lay down and closed your eyes and had a think. And that out of the thinking came some notion of clanking around, and that would make the story true, wouldn't it? I think we're going to say true.
Right. Chizzy, was it true, or were you telling a lie?
Oh, guys, come on. Yeah, it's true.
Yes, it's true. Chizzy really does believe she used to be a medieval Frenchman. Right. Simon, you're next.
I once opened my curtains.
I believe you.
I once opened my curtains in what I thought was Manchester, only to see Denmark outside.
David's team.
How did this come about?
Well, me and a friend of mine had been out and had a long lunch in South Manchester,
Yes.
which ended up with us waking up in a hotel room, separate beds. And
Oh, I'm sorry it didn't go better.
thank you.
And so how did the day end?
With my friend saying, "Where are we?" And me saying, "I think we're in one of the hotels in Manchester." I opened the curtains and I saw a ferry going past, and the...
How did you know it was Denmark? Did the ship say, "Welcome to Copenhagen"?
Well,
It'd
this
be
was
very
the
confusing if a ship said, "Welcome to Copenhagen," wouldn't it? Because wherever it went... I wouldn't put "welcome to" anywhere on a thing that moved.
We had to ring reception and ask the lady where we were.
So what had happened then?
Well, we slowly pieced together that we'd got slightly inebriated and decided to jump on a flight somewhere. So we rang downstairs and asked them where we were, and they said room 342. To which I said, "No, what part of the world are we in?" And she told us where we were.
That's a hell of an opening question. Hello, reception. Yes, where am I?
We then went down to reception to clarify where we were.
So you ring her up. She says you're in room 342, whatever. And you go, "No, where in the world?" And she says, "Copenhagen." And then you sort of go, "I'm going to need to speak to you about this face to face."
Simon, aren't you from Manchester?
That's why I knew ferries didn't go down Key Street,
But
see?
why would you stay in a hotel in the city you live in?
You're a very innocent man.
Henning, what do you think about this?
Utterly believable.
You seem very willing to accept this sort of hedonistic behaviour, Henning. Have you indulged in this sort of thing yourself?
Yeah, I want. Yeah. I mean,
How do you think he ended up in this country?
Michelle, what about you?
There are parts of it that I believe, because I've been with friends on those benders, but the timeline is just not adding up.
Well, I think your opinion in favour of truth is stronger than your opinion against
I think you're correct.
So I think we'll go with true.
Makes it very easy for you, doesn't it? You've had to do nothing.
Whereas you...
I am holding the whole thing together. OK, they think it's true, Simon. Was it true, or was that all a lie?
Well, it was all true.
Wow. Yes, Henning!
Our next This round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. It's up to Lee's team to spot who is telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Ben. So, Michelle, what is Ben to you?
This is Ben, and when I judged a dogs in drag contest, Ben's doggy took first prize.
Right. Henning, how do you know Ben?
This is Ben, and he regularly sends me photos to remind me of the day I went to a railway station and fell down the gap.
Finally, David, what is your relationship with Ben?
This is Ben, and he accused me of fly tipping when I was actually tidying up someone else's fly tipping.
So, there we have it. Michelle's pet pal, Henning's mocking mate, or David's busybody. Lee's team, where will you begin?
I just had a really good idea.
Very good.
So, Michelle, how many times have you judged a doggy drag competition?
A few times. You know, this is something I love to do, and I actually get hired by companies to do that.
Oh, on a professional basis?
On a professional level, but this one was not professional.
And where was this?
This was on the set of RuPaul's Drag Race.
In what country?
Here.
Here.
Do you watch RuPaul's Drag
Yes,
Race?
I do.
Do you remember this bit?
No.
Right, it's a lie.
What series were you filming?
We were filming series 3, and it was the last day of filming. It was for the crew. It was not filmed on camera. Whichever crew members wanted to bring their dogs and dress them up, we were going to have a doggy drag contest.
So what kind of dog does Ben have?
Ben's got a Labradoodle.
A Labradoodle?
Yes.
OK, so already a bit draggy, because they're a little bit... They've got a perm.
Sure, yes. Fluffy.
Yeah, and what's the dog called?
Well, their drag names are not their real names. So the drag name was Cindy Pawford.
Cindy Crawford. Nice.
Do you remember what the dog was wearing? Did it have a big mole on
It had
face?
a mole stuck on it, had fake eyebrows stuck on it, had a wig, a little tight dress. We had one contestant called Grace Bones. And that one was really cute, had like a little hood, you know,
Yeah.
like Grace Jones would wear like those little heads. There was another one called Doggy Parton, who had, and she had blonde hair. You know, had a
Like,
hard
what do you
time
mean
walking.
they put false boobs on her?
Yeah, little foam false boobs.
Was there 12 of them? Or just the 2?
There was not 12, it was just the 2.
Lovely.
He was talking about the teeth.
Oh,
Yeah, dogs have more nipples than we do. That's why we always have envied them.
Yes.
Did you say that this dog won?
His dog won the prize, yes.
What was the prize?
Cindy Pawford. It was a golden bone statue that was made by the art department.
Was it phallic?
Well, I didn't pay attention to that, Lee.
Well, was it a bone
It was-
upright on a stand?
Yeah.
It's phallic.
All right, now, who would you like to quiz next?
Henning.
Just remind us, Henning, of your claim.
This is Ben. He regularly sends me photos to remind me of the day I went to a train station and fell down the gap.
Oh. Have you never heard the announcers say, mind the gap?
They didn't, and that's the reason why I fell down the gap.
Where was the train station?
Somewhere out in the sticks.
What time of the day was this?
Daytime.
So daytime in the sticks. Well, that's very specific.
And why did you fall in the gap?
It wasn't my fault because, as Simon pointed out, no one said mind the gap.
Henning, paint us a full picture of the event. You're at the station to catch a train. What happens?
They didn't make an announcement saying mind the gap, and then it's not my fault at that point, is it?
Yes, I understand that. We're not saying it's your fault.
I wasn't alone. No, I was with my bicycle.
Right.
OK, so again, what happened?
Listen, how many more times? There was no announcement.
No, Henning. That's why it happened. Now, what happened?
Oh, yeah, very good. Very good. I tried to wheel the bicycle onto the train.
Yeah.
The bike got caught in the gap. Wheel spins round. You
What?
name it.
You name it. You name it.
The front wheel spins round.
Yeah.
I then put my foot forward to balance myself out,
Yeah.
and my whole leg disappeared.
Right. So your leg, platform, train, your leg is now down the gap.
Yeah.
Does anything else fall down the gap?
My self-esteem.
Where does Ben fit into this? Who is he in relation to you?
It's my mate Ben, who regularly sends me photos to
Okay.
remind me of the day I went to a railway station and fell down the gap.
OK. First of all, why was Ben with you on this day?
But he wasn't.
Oh, you did?
He sent pictures.
You'd never met him up until this point?
I've met Ben many a time, but that's got nothing to do with what happened on the day.
Right. So why was he with you that day?
He wasn't. He wasn't.
So how does he send... Where are the pictures from?
You took photographs of it.
No!
Who did?
Who's taking pictures?
Let's not get involved in that.
Let's get involved in that. Who took the photos?
That is neither here nor there, honestly.
I just need a name. Who took the photos?
Nigel.
So Nigel has taken the photograph, and Ben is also a friend of Nigel's, and now Ben has got hold of the photograph, and he keeps sending them to you.
He really, really enjoys to regularly send me pictures of himself on a train. Say, when the doors are open, then Ben will send me a photo of it with the door open going, help. Or what to do now. And
how many times has he sent the photo?
well, whenever he is in a predicament.
What do you mean?
David, explain to them what I mean.
Well, I just want to say, I'm going to speak on behalf of him.
Thank you.
But firstly, I want to reiterate that Ben caught me fly tipping, but I wasn't fly tipping. But anyway, what Henning is saying is that every time Ben is on a train or getting off a train or in a train-themed scenario, he sends a jokey picture to mock Henning for his stupidity at falling down the gap at a train station merely because on one occasion it wasn't announced.
So
But that's not what he read earlier.
Read it again. Read it again.
This is Ben.
Carry on.
He regularly
Yeah. Yes.
regularly sends me photos
Yeah.
to remind me
Yeah.
of the day
Yeah.
I went to a railway station, choo-choo, and fell down the gap. And that is the last thing I say on that matter. Now please deal with David.
No.
All right. Are you happy now to move on?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so David, remind us, it was a while ago.
Oh, I know, yes.
How do you know Ben?
Because I think he sends pictures to Henning. No, he accused me of fly tipping.
Oh, yes.
But I was, in fact, tidying up someone else's fly tipping.
Right. And where was this?
It was in the English countryside.
OK. Who are you with?
My parents.
Was this recently?
Yes.
What were they doing? Dumping you at the road?
No, they... my dad was helping me put these items in the boot of their car.
What kind of car has your dad got?
A state car, it's an Audi.
And what were you doing? What were you going to do with it? Take it home?
Yes, my dad was going to the tip later that week. He had some of his own rubbish to get rid of responsibly. And he said, well, I can take that with me.
So when your dad plans a trip to the tip, if he sees rubbish that belongs to other people, like a womble, he'll go and grab that as well.
He wouldn't take it if it belonged to a womble, because it's famously wombles make use of that sort of thing. So...
And why were you on this road with your parents? You're a grown man. Why were you...
Well, you know when you turn 18 and your parents no longer have any legal responsibility for you?
Yes.
Well, my parents and I, we decided to keep in touch.
No, but why? And that's lovely. I don't know what was the occasion that you were in the car with them, and it was just you, not your wife, not your child, just you.
We've been out for a pub lunch, and he said, "Well, that's not very nice." There, I said, "Well, that's not very nice. You're right, it isn't very nice."
Did your mum join in and say it's not very nice? And then the dog went, "It's not very nice."
They haven't got a dog. But the parrot, who can talk.
What did he say?
That's right. He said, "I think it's harmless."
So your dad screeches to a halt.
Yes.
And you hop out of the car and you start.
Well, I get out with a groan.
You're in the back seat. You're sitting in the back.
I am.
Your parents in the front. That's not easy for a grown man.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Insist my mother sits in the back?
I think your mum would have sat in the back and you'd have sat on her knee. How else is she supposed to breastfeed you? It's how I always picture you, David. Your dad looked in the mirror and went, "Well, that's not very nice." So anyway...
You have to ruin everything, don't you?
How does Ben appear? Who is he? What's he
As
doing?
if by magic. He drives up in a car, another car, if you imagine. It's quite, you know, turning out to be quite a busy road. And he winds down the window and said, "What are you doing?"
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yes, initially, he was quite cross.
So he said, "What are you doing?" And you said, we're moving this stuff.
Yeah, we're getting rid of it.
And he
said, we didn't like it. We didn't leave it here. We didn't like it being there. We're getting rid of it because my dad's going to the tip. But I am allowed in the front.
My dad's going to the tip. Did you pull up your short trousers by the belt?
I was wearing my adult clothes.
So you loaded up the car.
Yes.
In front of him.
He didn't hang around for the entire loading. He believed us.
How full was your dad's car at the end of the journey?
We didn't stop at other places. We weren't on the lookout for more. We just happened to have passed this thing. The boot was empty. My dad said he was going to the tip in a few days.
My dad's going to the tip.
My dad's...
My dad's going to the tip. He said if I'm very good, I can go too. Yes. But I will have to stay in the car. It's done affectionately.
No, thank you.
Right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team, is Ben Michelle's pet pal, Henning's mocking mate, or David's busybody?
I believe Michelle has professionally judged competitions where dogs dress up. Do I believe that professionally? Would someone be paid for that?
Yeah, in this day and age, definitely.
Yeah.
We get paid for doing this.
Wait, you do?
Yeah. You should, honestly, Rob, you should ask about it.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because David's... You see, hang on. Is there enough room? What was the car again?
Out of the estate.
So we're not putting the back seats down because David's in the back seats.
Those cars, you can put one of the seats down in the back.
Was one of the seats down at the back, David?
No. Because obviously, I've got my teddy on the other seat in the back.
Was Teddy looking forward to the trip to the tip as well? OK, come on then. Who is it?
Do we want to go Henning?
You want to go Henning?
I don't know.
I kind of want to go Henning.
Yes, go Henning then.
I think he double bluffed his way through the whole thing.
OK.
So, you think it's Henning. Ben, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Ben, and yes, it is Henning I send photos to.
Yes, Ben is Henning's mocking mate. And, rather excitingly, we have some photographic evidence. There is Henning. Now, that's Nigel's picture.
Yeah.
OK? And then here's one of the pictures that Ben then started sending. You see, so that's Ben. You see? Isn't that good? And I think we have another. Well, that is splendid. Thank you very much, Ben. Which brings us to our final round, Quickfire Lies, and we start with... It's Lee.
When I was trying to sell my house, I once put on a disguise and viewed it undercover, so I could see if the estate agent was any good.
David's team.
True. So describe the disguise.
Have you seen RuPaul's Drag Race? The disguise was, first of all, I shaved my beard off.
When was this, then?
When did I last not have a beard? I'd say 5 years ago.
5 years ago. And you've moved house since then, have you?
Might have been 7 years ago.
OK.
Was that your disguise? You shaved your beard?
No, there was more to it than that.
Go on, then.
I put a false beard on. I shaved my beard off.
Yeah.
I put a wig on.
Yeah.
Put a pair of glasses on where they're really thick and make your eyes look massive. So I've got massive eyes, demi-wave, no beard. Yeah.
So when you got there, did the estate agent say, "Oh, hello, Mr. Mac"?
Not at all. He didn't recognise me at all.
Did you do one of your voices?
I did do one of my voices.
Which voice did you do?
I did Michael Caine.
You did Mike. So why don't you imagine that Simon, one of our highest regarded actors, he is the estate agent.
OK.
And you are going now for a viewing of the house. So Simon's opening the door, and there you are.
Hello?
Sorry, I would have rang the bell, but I know it's not working. I will have a look round the house. First, I'd like to start in the kitchen.
Come this way. I'm sorry about all the mess. The previous owner is a little bit of a tramp.
But I've heard the current owner is OK.
How did you know he owns currants?
Because we once had a date.
Is that exactly how it went?
No, there was more.
Oh.
It seemed like a fair way from the station.
There's no golf course between here and the station.
That was on par with your last one.
Very good. Right, Michelle, what are you thinking?
I mean, I would do that. I think that's brilliant if you want to
Thank
see how
you.
your house is being sold.
What do you think, Henning? True?
Oh,
No.
No, you don't think
not in a
so?
million years.
I mean, I think he might, but I actually think what he would do is he'd get someone else to go on his behalf.
Yeah. So you're saying it's a lie?
Yeah.
Lee, was it true, or were you telling us a lie? Yes, it's a lie. Lee didn't view his own house in disguise. Oh, that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. I can reveal that David's team have won by 3 points to 1.
That's the lowest score I've ever had.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.